Hello, welcome to the Stanley Parable. I don't know why I said it like that. Stanley Parable, Ultra Deluxe. I friggin' love this game, and I'm so excited because they finally got it on console. Field of view, let's go like an 80. Actually, no, let's just keep it up. I think it was a 75. Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. It's like midnight, and I am not on night shift. So I'm kind of tired. But I was too excited because I really want to freaking play this. Subtitles. Yep. Accessibility. I don't know what that means. Enable trans. And of what? I don't know. We'll just keep everything as it is, right? Except for like subtitles. We definitely want that. Where were those? Subtitles. Yeah, that should be good. If you don't know what Stanley Parable is, it's a funny game where you're just making decisions. You're just doing whatever you want. You have a guy who narrates what you're doing. He's telling your story. And you either decide to roll with him and do whatever he's telling you to do through whatever story he's telling, or you can just make his life miserable. It's completely up to you. Lots of choices to make, lots of possibilities, lots of endings. So let's go through it. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I'm excited for it, but like, geez, I'm tired. So I'm only gonna do like one part, just because I cannot wait. So let's do it.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Something's wrong. Hold on. Yeah, we do want subtitles. I assumed they were on. Okay. Make sure all the audio is good. Controls. We got crouch, interact, move, and look. It's not a super complicated game. So just make sure subtitles are on. All right. What a beautiful painting. 427. So for the first run, we're just going to do everything he says.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
To the meeting room. I don't know where the meeting room is. I hate Mondays. Might need to turn the sensitivity up. Camera sensitivity. Let's try an 8. No. It's a bit better. It's still kind of slow, but okay. It's also like a little bit of a...
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
On my left. Go on it. Anything going on here? No, just boxes.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Another fish. Oh my gosh. Using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header. And, oh, everyone is unique. Most of all. Synergize core value expenditure, shift global market, monetize free to play. We must work for a video game company. Broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So yes, sir. Must be the boss's office. Executive bathroom. Hello? Hello? No?
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Okay. So if I'm going by what the narrator is saying, I don't know the code. So I'm just going to put random stuff, see what happens.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
Now I see why the sensitivity is low.
2845.
5802 6942.
Forgot, but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the
Sweet.
door just opened all by itself. And
Oh,
Stanley
that's
got the
amazing.
hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
All right. A secret door opened. What is this? Let's go down. Loading.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Alright. Gotta figure out what's going on.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Mind control facility. It's so dark. Not gonna tell me to push it. I'll just do it. I push
The
buttons.
lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Do I? I guess I go this way. This?
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true
Fired?
nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
427. There I am. I mean, I'm sorry, I was looking at my phone. I thought he was going to eventually, like, do or say something. Oh, I guess I could go this way.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Okay.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was
Never.
unthinkable, wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Seizure
Here was
warning.
proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
Time to dismantle the controls once and for all. Wish there was a zoom button. Dismantling controls.
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won. He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know.
It's so
It was
beautiful.
perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Beat the game. We did it. Walmart just started selling Flamin' Hot Mountain Dew. So I've been like looking up recipes on what I could make with that for like cocktails. What I can mix with it. So on the last one, we got a couple trophies. I didn't see what that last one was. But that was doing everything he said. So on this one, we're going to flip it completely and ignore everything he says, right? See the consequences of our
All his
actions.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
What could it
Stanley
mean?
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah, we got to go to the meeting room. So anytime you're given a choice, we're going to do the opposite.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So now we're going to go to the right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps
Yep.
he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Yeah, I'm going to admire the crap out of it. Oh my gosh.
Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
It's pretty great.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
It's so worth it.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
Wow. Dick move.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
Oh man. Now it's gonna be like no dialogue, but I feel like it's gonna be like, oh, I thought that was gonna work. I'm gonna give it like a minute. And in that time I can look up Flaming Hot. Like Sin City Bartender has one. Let's listen to this recipe.
How to make the Sierra Madre Martini. First, from a glass with hot Cheetos. Then in a glass, pour Irish whiskey, Grand Marnier, and limoncello. Give it a good shake, and pour. Lastly, top with Coke.
I don't
Enjoy
have
the
any of
Jumbo
those
cocktail.
things. That is not what I thought was gonna be it. Flaming Hot. Mountain Dew. Oh, no, ideas, maybe? I saw a Reddit thread, but it was like a bunch of trolls. Hmm. feel like there's gotta be something, right? Coffee nut. Alright, it's been a minute. Let's go.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
Yep, sure will.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Yep. Warning, do not jump from cargo lift while it is in motion. Will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off cargo lift, $5,000. Vent access. Cool, cool. Guess we gotta go up here.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now,
It's looking
I'm
like
not
that's a
asking for
decision.
me, I'm asking for her.
I'll have to come back here later and go
This is
through
it,
that.
Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
I don't know who she is. All I do is press buttons. Oh,
That's
you put me
her,
in a corner.
Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Can I unplug the
As
phone?
Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone?
Yes,
That
sir.
wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check.
Oh, geez, I broke him.
No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making.
Oh, jeez.
Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's
Oh,
the
boy,
best
here we
part
go.
of being a real person. But if used incorrectly, can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack.
What?
Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best path to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back.
Whoa,
You may
whoa,
have
whoa.
noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
What happens if I just stay here? I shut the door. Okay, I guess I gotta go. Boop, 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 boop. Do, do, do. Doop, doop. Do, do, do. Okay, can't go that way. I guess I have to go here.
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway
Oh
through the
no.
story. That story would make no sense at all.
Oh no,
We
he
just need to get
blocked
you
me.
home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
I popped open a flaming hot Mountain Dew. It's weird. It's different. Taste wise, like just purely on taste, it tastes just like a regular Mountain Dew, but it's got like a slight heat in the back of your throat, as if like a tiny bit of the flaming hot like powder is like lingering on the back of your throat. I mean, like the tiniest bit. It's strange. Do.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
So it wants me to take a door on the left, but I'm going to take a door that's on the right.
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Uh-oh. 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 And then I'm gonna try it one more time. Oh, okay. Through the correct door.
It's
No.
ruined. I
Oh,
can't
God.
believe after everything we talked about that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now.
No,
And
he's
what am I
pissed.
supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
No, you don't. Oh, God, that scared me. That, like, actually scared me. My controller started shaking. Oh, you did it.
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You. Who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would
Yeah,
have
I
been so
did
perfect.
that.
I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make
Oh,
it behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite
what?
sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yeah, we're not playing that one, man. You ain't gonna
No!
trick
Why did you
me.
do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to
I'm
the
confused.
task. Just follow my lead and
Is
you'll
this
be
supposed to
fine.
be happening,
All
or
right.
is it just like that was the
When
end?
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing
Is it
responsibly and always
bugged?
putting the
Like,
story
what?
first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
I'm gonna try it one more
When
time.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would.
Okay, I'll go
That
through the
means
left.
choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
What is that? It's weird.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once
Oh,
again
this is
stunned
different.
to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Night Shark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code. Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Trying. Nighthawk 115?
Sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you? Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise,
Does it
we
want
can't
me
get
to
on with
speak?
the story. This is a crucial step.
Nighthawk 115.
Okay, fine. You're not going to do it, but you know what?
I'm
It's pretty
trying.
humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come
What?
this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You...
What?
When Stanley came to a set of two...
Whoa, 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 what?
entered the door on his left. Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me?
Oh, jeez.
Is everything...
Oh, it broke.
Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. You're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something.
He sounds so sad.
This is more important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? You're listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I promise. We need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
He sounds so sad. Oh. The end is never the end. Okay, so this time I'll go back and forth, starting with following his order, then disobey, then follow, then disobey.
Gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So first choice I'll follow.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Next one I will disobey.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
No.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Yeah. It's a nice closet, though.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, He's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Try not to fall asleep, bro. You don't know what it's like.
Broom closet? Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
Tired. Don't want to go to work. I don't want to deal with my boss.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Oops.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job
Wow.
because of a family
Oh my
connection.
gosh.
That's how stupid he is.
Yeah.
Thirdly, with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Oh my gosh. You can't lie to me like that. What a
Well,
douche.
I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed in front of your screen. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. When you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Yep. Screw it. Let's do it.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey you can hand the controls to. Fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Receptive. No. Oh. That's my timer. Oh. Discord notification. What you got for me? Alright. Going forward.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Gonna go down. It is technically speaking him saying leave the broom closet is me obeying, right? What is this? It looks like something. Probably some kind of Easter egg or something.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was
True.
crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did
Oh
doors
god.
close automatically behind him wherever he went?
Oh
And for
god.
that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply
Oh
repeated?
god.
No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the
No.
ground. Then he
Oh. I'm
imagined
floating.
himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office.
I'm literally falling asleep, so I'm gonna go ahead and end this one here. So if you watched, yeah, thank you for watching. I'll catch you later.